And even though it's only once a week, in our little world, a week seems like a long time. But when you look at things in a much longer time horizon, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of weeks in a long time horizon. So you'll be doing these meditations, you'll be rising to this ascension state. Not only do I want you to do it every day anyway, but even if you only did it once a week, it's still a lot of repetitions over a period of 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. And what happens is your body, your mind, your physical body, your emotional body, your energy body, all of this stuff gets reconditioned and you start to become more and more like that. You get what you put your eyes on, right? You become what you pay attention to. I think that should be pretty obvious. Whatever you pay attention to is what you become. If you pay attention to the news and getting agitated, you become that. If you pay attention to your family and your kids, you become that. If you pay attention to your work and your career, you become that. If you pay attention to the sixth and the seventh dimension, you become that. It's not any different. It's just better and it's more aligned. Not to say you shouldn't pay attention to all those other things. You do what you got to do. But the point is, every week doesn't seem like a lot because that's 6 days and 23 hours in between our meetings. It seems like a long time, but even if this is all that you did, the Friday meditation workshop and this Tuesday night workshop, even if that's all that you did, it's enough over a long period of time to condition yourself or recondition yourself and start to more and more ascend. Because the goal here, and I'm talking to you like regular people here, the goal here is for us to ascend as a collective. And as we're ascending as a collective, each one of us is either pulling us higher. So we're all ascending because you're ascending means we're all ascending, or I'm ascending, we're all ascending, or it's pulling you from behind. We're ascending and you wanna stay with it. So as a group, we're ascending. Clearly, we're also ascending individually, but we're also ascending as a collective. And so this rhythm, this weekly rhythm is very important. I don't take this lightly. I don't take this opportunity to talk about, I really don't talk about sixth and seventh dimension any other time except this time. In my own personal practice, I'm constantly trying to sense my own magnetic body, and we'll do that kind of kinesthetic meditation as well today, where you kind of will sense your energetic body. But I'm constantly doing that. When I say constantly, I'm busy with millions of things, but I do this on a daily basis. I remind myself, the more I remind myself, the more I remind myself. And the deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper I start to lock in these habits. And once you start to understand the idea of ascending, you're not going anywhere. You're just reconditioning your body. You're reconditioning your framework of how you're seeing things and understanding things. So it's a slow process of reconditioning. But the more you do that, the more you kind of melt into that higher dimensional understanding. And I don't want you to be afraid of it. I don't want you to feel like anything amazing is going to happen, like things are going to explode and all of a sudden the three-dimensional world is going to disappear and you're just going to, see ones and zeros like in the Matrix. It's not going to be like that. You're conditioning yourself over a long period of time to be a higher dimensional being, which you already are. So what we're doing is slowly over long periods of time, letting go, unpacking, unraveling ourselves, unpacking our subconscious over time, being really patient with yourself through the process. Oh, I had a bad day. That's okay. Just keep going. Oh, I had a bad week. It's okay. This is a long, patient process. There's no such thing as going to the seventh dimension. Okay, I could take you to the seventh dimension in 5 minutes. That doesn't mean you're there. The goal is to go there often enough, experience this often enough, so that you start to anchor yourself there. And I've said this from the beginning. This is the kind of power, this higher dimensional power, is not power that one person can control. It's a cooperative power, a collective power. And what we're doing, so imagine up on this really steep mountain, way up in the sixth dimension, is a bunch of people up there, the Utopia Collective. There's only a very few of us, there's only a handful of us. But what we're doing up here is important. We're not fixing problems down there. We're not complaining about stuff. We're not we're not even looking there. That's not the direction we're looking. What we're doing is learning how to contain and start to move these higher forces, these magnetic, this magnetic energy, this magnetic force. We're learning how to do it more efficiently on a regular basis, get better at it, learn how to get sharper and clearer. We're just beginning. Like this is literally very early days. And we're just learning how to use this. But one thing for sure that I now can confirm, it's not something that one person can go and start to, then turn the laser beam and start to change the three-dimensional world. It requires a cooperative mindset. It requires everything that we have as humans. As humans, we were born to cooperate and work with each other. That's the collective. It's kind of driving us all together in common mind, in kind of common purpose, aligned the way we all want to be aligned, and then learning how to contain that energy even when we drop out of it, knowing that when you drop out of it, well, some people are still here. And when they drop out, well, you're here. Like there's always going to be people here. Once we set up shop, which we've done already, and we've proven that it only takes a very small number of people, this is very powerful stuff. Only a small number of people, we all know now that this is now there for us. It's a container that's waiting. And I did this. I wrote the cycle of mind. So I wrote the thought matrix so I would have an organized way to think. I wanted to create a collective so I would have a place to anchor. Because if it's just me and then I drop out, I got to fight and try to figure out how to get back there. But once it's us, we now can go back there anytime. And anytime you plug into the collective, anytime you get involved in a volunteer effort or do something or read a post or whatever, you're building little magnetic threads that make the collective more and more real in a real sense, like in a magnetic, it's hard to explain, but you kind of know what I'm talking about. Every time you DM each other and say hi to each other or follow up with each other or hold each other accountable, go to the accountability portal and put something in there and these are like little magnetic threads, invisible. You can't see them, but over time, those threads make it something that's real. And thank you, Brian. And it's we're not just sitting here. This is really important to understand. This is my mission. I don't want to sit here and just philosophize. I don't want to sit here and just meditate for 17 hours a day. I want to change the world. I want to write books. I want to, welcome people. I want to help other people ascend. I want to change the way everything's done. So I believe in action. But in order to take action, you've got to have alignment first. And I can take action. Yeah, it's the very, very, very beginning. There's just like wisps of this energy. But in order to take action, you have to be aligned. And once you're aligned and you start taking aligned actions, all of a sudden work elevates you. It gets you more energized. And for me personally, boredom is what kills me. That destroys my energy. But when I'm working and I'm all like, I used to work really hard and be out of balance, but now my work is aligned. And I challenge all of you to find ways to make your work aligned because we all do need to work. We need to do something during the day. We don't live 2,000 years ago where we can just meditate for 12 hours and, you know, live in a community where we just fish for we just don't live that way. We have a complex life, and so we have to align our work and our actions so that it doesn't matter how hard you work or gee, I didn't even meditate. It doesn't even matter, man. I'm like perfectly aligned because everything I'm working on, it's like the cycle of mind, the thought matrix, right? That thought matrix, that triangle at the top, your life purpose. Once you lock in your life purpose, all the work in that direction is aligned work, as opposed to all the work we do in the third dimension, which pulls us away from alignment and pulls our energy out. They're extracting our energy. Here, we're giving our energy, and our energy is compounding because we're all in sync. We're in sync with our own internal purpose. We're in sync with our own internal motivation, and we're in sync with a group purpose. And this group purpose, you're going to see it manifest. You're going to watch it grow over time. Um, I keep making that promise, but it's going to happen. Um, so there you go. So I wanted to say that before we thoughts. Yeah, and let's do the whole thing. Let's just do it. All right, it's already 20 minutes I've been yapping. All right, here we go.